thought we made some progress tonight. We this afternoon. Our effort was good for 40 minutes. We didn't always play as well as I think we're capable of, but our effort and our focus, and, our defensive effort, getting deflections and steals, and I thought was at our best level. Obviously, Naheem blocking 6 shots is something that we have not gotten consistently. But the interesting thing is that he didn't grow any taller. He didn't get stronger or more athletic. But his mindset was at a level that he was consistent with his effort, and I thought that shows that he's trying to give those things that he's capable of giving, which was a factor in this game. When you have a guy in there blocking 6 shots, it created a lot of indecision with your opponent. I thought our ball movement was pretty good. The ball did not stick. We had 4 possessions though in the second half where we had no pass shots. And in the first half, I thought we moved the ball, made the extra pass, and created for ball movement. I like to see us drive a little bit more, get into the lane a little bit. But I was pleased with the effort that these guys. Cam Cohen, I thought, gave us some consistency, and I was a little more comfortable rotating some of our inexperienced players in. I thought that they executed very well, and that's been a process for me personally, because it's somewhat challenging mentally when you're coaching and you got a guy who plays 6 minutes, 7 minutes in a row, and then it's a critical part of the game. I have to take him out and I had to put an inexperienced guy in there who's still learning and growing. I have 2 guys who playing they had very little practice the entire year. They got healthy and we put them in the game. So we still are trying to find ourselves, but I was pleased that we were able to get a home victory. A little bit about Louisville. I have no doubt in my mind that they've been challenged just like we are. And there's nobody in the United States, maybe with the exception of a few, that doesn't understand that they got a great program, they got the right man for the job. There's no doubt in my mind, I'm not confused, that he'll get that program back to where it has always been, one of the top programs in America. I know what he's going through in building. That's part of the process. But for us, it's almost like we rebuilding over ourselves. But we going to straighten things out and get a little better as the season progresses. You guys got any questions?
Leonard, after the close losses to 2 top 5 teams, I know you lost Cam, so that can make things more difficult clearly. But to stack on those 2 close losses with an emphatic win like that, do you feel like this team is making some progress towards where you want it to be?
I mean, if I get too deep in this conversation, it sounds like I'm making some excuses. But all that kind of falls on me. There's some things that probably could have done better as we navigated through the pandemic and players leaving and not coming back, so forth and so on. But I got to concentrate on where we are now with this team. I think we have enough that we can go out and be successful. It has a tendency sometimes to wear on you. Even this week we had 2 kids out with the flu. We had a little scare with one of our other kids with an injury. And you just gotta stay focused and don't use anything to deter you or distract you. And that's pretty much where I'm concentrating on. If I start, not having Cam and not having, we got a pretty good team sitting on the sideline. But that's part of who we are this year. And what we got to do is just be the best version of the Seminoles that we can with who we got available. And I'm sure we're moving in the right direction. Hopefully that'll allow us to continue to keep winning games like we did tonight.
How do you think Matthew has played the last 2 games specifically with the way he's rebounded the ball? Is that something you guys challenged him with, or something he just obviously knew he had to do?
Well, I just think that we have not been in sync like the teams that you guys have become accustomed to watching. And a lot of that's because, this is the first time I think in many, many years we have not had any 3rd and 4th year players on our team setting the table and setting the example for what the freshmen and sophomores or 1st and 2nd year players to learn from. And I think there's a big gap there. So we asking our second year players, which it normally takes a while to get comfortable in our system. We've been able to have enough veterans around that when you bring in a freshman, he doesn't have the responsibility that these guys have. Tom House coming in the game tonight, he gave us a big lift, getting those two threes that I think he made. And just his play, he didn't get beat off any dribbles. He was in there tipping them, and he was playing with a lot more savvy than he was early in the year. So we still, Chandler's probably had, let's say, 8 practices all year. Now he's in a conference game that we need him to give a spell some guys, but we need him to be productive when he goes in the game, making good decisions, moving the ball, containing the dribble. And I think he's showing he's more comfortable, a little more relaxed, and I thought he did a really good job along with Cam Cohen. So we're making progress. We just in the middle of the heat, and we got to perform with who we are this year.
From a leadership standpoint, are guys that are obviously making an effort to try to do that?
There's no doubt that we're getting, I guess I say leadership by committee. I think we all are calling each other out. We're all holding each other accountable. We're moving in the right direction. We are understanding more and more what it takes to be successful. And they are holding each other accountable. I think that we went through that learning period of how hard do you have to play, what is the commitment you have to make, how much do you need to sacrifice on your energy and your effort, and what it takes to compete against top 5 teams in the country. I think we're learning that, and probably if I had a crystal ball, I probably would have played a top 5 team the first game of the year. That probably would have helped us a little bit. But I think we benefited by playing high caliber opponents the last couple of games, and hopefully we'll continue to keep growing and improving.
How good is it to get some of those walk-ons in the minutes at the end of the game?
You have no idea how our green team helps us prepare each game. These guys, they are our most experienced players. Cleveland Yates is really one of our captains. I mean, he's the energy guy. He's the guy who keeps us together going in practice all the time. And to get him on the floor was huge. Just get all of them out on the floor just for a couple of minutes. We're up there, Morale. They do an outstanding job of helping us prepare each game.
We all set?